Welcome to Brooklyn, New York City. DJ Ralph McDaniels cooling out on the set.
Yo, Uncle Ralph out there.
Yo, what's good, Uncle Ralph?
What's up, Ralph?
What's up, Uncle Ralph?
It's your boy Flip the Nero, fabulous.
Fat Joe to ULE, and we live on the Hush Hip Hop Tour.
Welcome to Brooklyn, New York City, home of Jay-Z, Biggie Smalls, Fabulous. The list goes on and on. This is serious business right here. This is ground zero for some of the greatest rappers in the world, Brooklyn, USA. And it's the hottest borough because that's where I was born at. I'm Ralph McDaniels, so come with me on the Hush Tour. We're gonna check out Brooklyn. Where Brooklyn at?
Can't breathe when I come through, hum to some shoes. Gotta be 20, man, it's not even funny, they can't. The chokehold's too tight, the left looks too right. You know what, you right, these can't breathe.
What up, Brooklyn? What's good? What's good? What's good? We're here doing it up, Bed-Stuy style. It's going down, Uncle Ralph. We're hanging out in Notorious B.I.G.'s neighborhood. This is Bedford Stuyvesant. This is where it's serious out here. Yes, we're gonna go by Biggie's house and see exactly where it was going down back in the days and find out how he did his thing. Big up to Notorious B.I.G. Big up to everybody representing Bed-Stuy, baby. That's where I'm from. Check it out, right here, Notorious B.I.G.'s crib. Spread love, it's the Brooklyn way is the name. Check out the mural, that's what it's all about. This is the Notorious B.I.G.'s park, named after him, Christopher Wallace basketball court. So if you come over here, you want to play some ball, you can do it and see Christopher Wallace's name outside on the courts.
Play the block, repeat. That's all I learned from these streets. I was in the trenches with my soldiers. I just stay pulled up. They don't know the game, give a about what they told us. And they gon' try something cause they fully for the clout. I know a couple wanna do me for the clout. Anytime you try something for a fact, it's going south. Any sudden movers and the toolie coming out. And we gon' let it rain till it's and it less. 8 p.m. that's the game time to apply the press. Man, we have a thing, opportunities with blessings. All we know is gunshots and a couple stretches. I don't think you know how it feels down there to live and go to school in the field down there. But I'ma stand tall.
So we are here, Mavani, tell me what's going on, man. You know, we had to drop down in your neighborhood, find out what's going on. I know you got a lot of music out, influenced by a lot of things. I see the Caribbean vibes.
Especially growing up in Brooklyn, like, there's a bunch of Caribbean, Haitians, Chinese, Jamaican, Guyanese, Native, Asian, like.
We're from the dudes to the 9mm. Used to spray.
Do you put the influence of Jamaican music, like dancehall or reggae, in your style?
Definitely dancehall. Like, you know who Movado is?
Yeah.
Like, I grew up loving his music. And
So special, come on, man.
Facts. And then, of course, reggae as well. You know who Gregory Isaac is?
Sure.
Like, that's like one of my
Really?
favorite reggae.
That's an OG right there.
Facts. And then people like Sizzler and stuff like that.
Yeah. More fire. Come on, man.
I be tuned in.
I feel like like you mentioned about you do the music so you don't get frustrated. Tell me how you feel about that, man, and how do young people feel?
Especially growing up in Brooklyn, like, there's a lot of shit that we as kids go through that others probably wouldn't. And probably wouldn't understand either. But you know, when you like alone in the booth,
Yes.
and it's just you just want to just let everything out. Like, there's a lot of things I speak about in my music that's majority of people didn't even know happened. So, you know, you just gotta let it out sometimes.
How the ladies treating you out there, bro? How's it going? Because when you sing, it's a different kind of mood right there. That's a little different.
That's a fact. Because for me, I grew up singing to females. Like, I used to sing to girls in class. I used to sing girls' voice notes and shit like that for me. But
see what he's doing out here. Study him.
but girls, I don't know. I don't really like to cloud my head with females because
Thank you.
They be bugging, I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, Fab.
BK style, live from the 718.
Hey yo, Fab, I'm moving through the hood, man. We over here and we touching down in different areas. And of course, if we come to Brooklyn, we gotta try to get in contact with you, man.
I'm gonna make a call and make sure that they take care of you, man. I'm gonna tell them, yo, Uncle Ralph out there, man, set them out.
Jody can't breathe when I come through, hum to some shoes, gotta be 20, man, it's not even funny.
Back in the days when you first came out, you changed the whole game with the clothes. You know, like you made people go buy that Mitchell and Ness and all of that stuff, man. How do you describe your style?
I would definitely say diverse, man. And I think, you know, being from New York City, being from Brooklyn, I was able to mix with a lot of cultures, a lot of different people from different walks of life, and it's kind of came out in my style.
Tell me, what makes Brooklyn so different from the rest of the world?
Man, Brooklyn got a pride, man. Like we got a humongous pride with us. Like, you know what I'm saying? Wherever we go, we take that Brooklyn pride with us. You know, one time I went to Japan and I said, is Brooklyn in the house, just to test it out. And I swear to God, one hand in the back of the crowd was like, Brooklyn, like, you know what I'm saying? Somebody was, you know what I mean? And wherever you go, it seems like Brooklyn is there, man. And we carry a pride about being from Brooklyn, representing Brooklyn. We carry ourselves on our Brooklyn swag everywhere we go. And I think Brooklyn has always been like a staple in the game, you know what I'm saying? We go hard, you know what I'm saying? Like they say, Brooklyn, we go hard. So, you know, I think that legacy is gonna keep going. I think there's a lot of talent in Brooklyn right now, from Pop Smoke and Fabio, even Chef G and Sleepy Hollow, those guys coming up. It's a lot of energy in Brooklyn, man. So, you know what I mean? Shout out to all the young Brooklyn artists, man. Y'all gotta keep carrying the torch, man. We gotta keep this going.
The choke goes too tight, the left looks too right. You know what? You right. These can't look, they hearts racing, they start chasing, but I'm so fast when I blow.
Junior, yo, what up, baby? Oh man, Brooklyn. Hey, look, this is the legendary Juniors. Everybody comes here for cheesecake. The most incredible cheesecake, look, I'm gonna say it, in the world. A lot of videos were shot right here. Big up to my man, LL Cool J. He shot Doing It video right here. The most iconic thing that happened right here is when Diddy told his interns in making the band that he wanted some Junior's cheesecake. He was all the way in Manhattan, miles away, and he said, you have to walk there. So they all walked to Brooklyn to get Diddy some Junior's cheesecake. Legendary. Hey, yo, Flip, what's good, baby?
What's good, big bro? What's the word?
Hey, yo, OG, Uncle Ralph, I'm here doing what we do, man. All right, so look, we just touched down in Brooklyn. We in Bed-Stuy right now, but tell me about your neighborhood, man. You know, little Canarsie jumping on. Y'all really, that Canarsie kind of hot right now.
Know what I mean? I was born in Brooklyn, New York. Know what I mean? Born in Flatbush, raised in Canarsie, around the age of 7 till now. Canarsie, man, it's a little different. You know what I mean? Just from the music scene to the way of life to how people conduct themselves out here. It's just a lot of gang activity and stuff going on out here, you know what I'm saying? So my thing is, like, growing up in Canarsie was just to always achieve and conquer the bigger and better things, as opposed of the stereotype that's set for us in Canarsie.
So tell me about the Leave Me Alone song, man. How did that come about?
Leave Me Alone. So, you know what I mean? I made Leave Me Alone in Brooklyn, New York, in Canarsie, in my hood that I grew up in, you feel me? The inspiration behind it was just, I just had a shorty, she just kept bugging me. She just kept calling my phone. She was on my heels too much. So, you know, like, I'm a creative dude. I just turned the emotions into music. I put it on wax, you feel me? When I made the song, I didn't expect it to blow up the way it did. It's crazy, man. The way Leave Me Alone came about was crazy, OG. I could tell you that much. But I'm definitely happy that shorty kept blowing up my phone because I turned it into a bad.
Nice. So tell me once again about Brooklyn. Why is Brooklyn so different than the other boroughs?
Oh, man.
Keep it 100.
Keep it a stack. I'm about to keep it a stack. You know what I mean? Brooklyn, Brooklyn is home of the sauce, man. Brooklyn is home of like the creativity, the flavor. You feel what I'm saying? Like style in Brooklyn, man, is totally different from the style in the other boroughs. You know what I'm saying? Like for a fact, you feel me? We got this assertiveness about us. It's just something about a dude from Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? There's something about an artist from Brooklyn. It's like when you have Brooklyn involved in your resume, it just people just look at you a little different. You see, you giving me that smile because you like, yo, he's speaking fact.
That's that Brooklyn bullshit.
Real talk.
Obasi, what's good, brother?
Yo, thank you for having me.
Yo, man, tell me about Canarsie right now. You see, right up front.
Listen, this is where I shot the work video, man.
Okay.
Like, this is where it all happened. This is
In the
where the
hood.
magic in the hood. This is where the magic happens, man. I can show you a little more if that's what
Hey,
you
look,
up
man,
to.
look, Canarsie's hot, bro. You gotta show me just.
I had to put on for my bro.
Come on,
You know
man,
what I'm
let's
saying?
go.
Let's get it.
This is Seaview Park, man.
Yeah, that's Seaview Park.
You know, I heard it in songs.
Yeah, you know, this is where everything goes down. Pop had a performance in there at Pop. I think it was like a Canarsie day. He was in there. Everybody was rushing to him. They played his song right over in the basketball courts. That was a historic day, man. There's a lot of history in this park, man, for real.
How did this all start? When did this vibe start to happen here?
Well, I think it started with Pop for real. Like Pop revolutionized drill music, and then Pop was the first one to be like, floss this, floss that. Like I'm from Canarsie, and that's
Yes.
when everybody started hearing about our neighborhood. So when it hit here, people felt it because it's something that's it's been something that's been wanting to come out already. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was just hit, somebody had to unlock it, you get me?
What gave you the opportunity to start doing the music? You and Pop.
We grew up heavily in church, so you know that's where that soul comes from. The gospel music, that real feel-good, vibey music, that's where it really started. My mom had us in church every Sunday. My dad's a percussionist, you know what I'm saying? My mom sings.
So tell me about your project, man.
Listen, I'm about to do an R&B project, you know what I'm saying, it's for the ladies. Probably gonna be a little bit hip hop in there. You might see a little rap inside of me, but you know, for the most part, it's for ladies. R&B is vibey, it's soulful. You know what I'm saying? That's how I like to keep it. I like to make music that can connect with the people.
And so, Pop passes, how did that affect you? How did that affect the neighborhood?
Man, it was really nasty in the community for a little while, you know what I'm saying? People didn't know what to say. You know, I had a lot of people reaching out to me I never knew. I never talked to a day in my life, come and give it their condolences and share love with me and my family. You know, we had Pop ride around Canarsie in the horse and carriage. You know what I mean? That was beautiful. We had hundreds of people out here, you know, just following us, playing music and celebrating his life. That meant the world to me and my family, you know?
What do you miss about Pop?
Oh, man. I miss his insight, you know? I miss his wisdom. I miss his power and his energy, you know what I'm saying? Because that carried a long way. The whole world is starting to know why Canarsie is being put on the map right now.
Yes.
I think it was something that's been bottled up. Like Canarsie hasn't been one of those places that get a lot of recognition. So when Pop did that and then more people started following and getting in tune, it's that vibe that carries.
Boom.
Boom. Domino effect, just like that.
She like the way that I dance. She like the way that I move. She like the way that I rock. She like the way that I. If she let it clap for it, she let it clap for it. If she throw it back for it, yeah, she throw it back for it. Mike and Mary.
All right. My man Obasi put me on. We went to Peppers on Flatlands. We in Brooklyn, baby. This is the way it's going down.